Hey, everybody. Michelle is here on a rainy Saturday evening. And man, am I tired. I have been moving out a lot of stuff and, clearing things out. And I'm getting really excited. I feel light. I'm getting excited about the next adventures upcoming in my life. And, talking to people that I've hadn't talked to in years. It was nice to hear from them. Everybody's going through some complexities in their life and some issues that a lot of people just don't want to deal with, and which I don't blame them. Um, I know with a lot of people, their mental health is an issue, and it ought to be. I mean, with everything going on in this world, yes, if no one's suffering from some type of mental situation, then I'm not sure, you know. And it doesn't mean that you have to even make a big deal out of it per se, but you need to know that there is some crazy times. These are crazy times, and it's unlike anything we've ever experienced. So anybody, like I said, coming forward talking about they understand and they have the only formula to get through all of this, just question it. And you think about what's the best formula for you to get through all of these troubling times. I mean, mainly weather related. The weather related part is going to cause a lot of uh, you know difficult moments for people. Because stuff you can have everything one day and then the next day is gone. That's why you just don't want to be so attached to your material things. And for me, I mean that has been probably the most uplifting part of all of this. What I'm doing is knowing that I'm not attached to any of this stuff, so I can easily let it go. And it's gonna feel good not to have so many responsibilities here. There's a lot of responsibilities to having a home. And anyone that says anything, whether you're married or not, is this responsibilities with a house. When my parents died, they left a whole bunch of unresolved projects around the house to be done. And so my brothers and sister or whoever, has to go in there and, decide what to do with all that stuff. See, I don't want to put no type of burden like that on anyone, to make those kind of decisions for me. I need to make those decisions up front, and that way when relatives do come in, or my spouse, once I get married, they'll know what to do with things. They don't need, so I don't want to minimize, the important values of some material things, but you just don't want them to be a strain and be holding you back and being a burden and being so concerned about it. You know, there are values to having certain type of material things, because a lot of it has a certain energy to it. Especially if you like jewelry, anything that you've had a lot of contact with has a lot of energy with it. And so, and a lot of people. That's why a lot of people have a hard time letting go things, because they have a remembrance of a loved one. Say a diamond ring, some jewelry, clothing, the bed they slept in. It has their energy of the former personality. Their energy does store in objects. And that's why they say, you shouldn't cremate someone, because once you cremate them, you lose all of that connection. But, everyone has to make that decision and research that on their own as to how they want to, handle those important matters. For me, I want to be buried. Now, when I get married with my spouse, I over communicate when I'm with somebody, so I'm going to make sure everything that we talk about, everything imaginable. And I'm going to do more listening, uh, and making sure I continue to build on my listening skills and build on my feelings. Meaning that because I do have compassion and empathy for people, but sometimes I just don't allow a lot of things penetrate inside of me to where I get overly emotional and overly into my feelings. I do manage that very well. But a lot of people, but if you get with someone that doesn't understand that, they will think I'm not in touch with those aspects of myself. But I'm definitely am. I manage my feelings and emotions very well. That is how I get through things. I don't let it penetrate inside of me where it becomes a rumination, or having a grudge or retaliation or seeking revenge. I have none of that going on. Everything to my ability has been neutralized. So that's why I feel so. That's probably why I feel so light, and I'm ready. I feel like a 20-year-old. So that's why I'm ready to move on to other adventures in my life. Meet face to face with people, and develop some more genuine interpersonal relationships with people. Platonic, of course. I have my eyes for one person only, and we'll see how that materializes. Um, because sometimes things are just fantasy, and they may not work out in in the desired result, and that's true with everything. Sometimes things just don't work out. But I know for me, 80 to 85% of what I visualize, it does come to fruition. It's just sometimes it's just the time, just the right time and moment, and boom, it there it is. So yes, I'm tired. I've been, like I said, moving stuff out, uh, lessening the load of things I need to be concerned about. That way I can put this place on the market, go ahead and sell it, and then move on to something, you know, different. In an area, like I said, in a quaint, busy area where there's plenty of entertainment, plenty of things to do, parks nearby. I used to always dream about growing up, when I was a young girl, it was palm trees. So that's probably why I ended up in a certain part of, South Florida area. Because that was a beautiful area too, like I said. But I hadn't been there. I plan to be heading that way soon to see some people that I hadn't seen in a long time. Or, at least see a few of them. I don't know if I'll have the energy for everybody, but a few of them. And let them know, that Michelle is fantastic, magnificent, and wonderful. And, just looking for other adventures, in my book of my life. I'm ready to add some more chapters to my book. How about that? My book of life. So anyway, I hope everybody is having a magnificent time, enjoying themselves in any way, fashion, and being in touch with yourself and being in touch with reality and staying grounded and keeping eyes on your surroundings. Make sure you are paying attention and staying present. Staying just keeping yourself grounded. Every now and then just check on yourself and say, okay, am I doing okay? Am I doing okay? And let me just say this real quick. I know a lot of people are dealing with what they call is depression, and depression is nothing but thoughts. It is usually thoughts ruminating in your. It's usually because of rumination of thoughts, ruminations of thoughts that are depressive. So I would suggest thinking about things that undepress you. Maybe go take a walk. Taking a walk out in nature usually can wipe that out, because it is thoughts. Depression is thoughts, and if you can untangle those thoughts, you can come out of depression. But make sure you get advice on that. I'm not a medical doctor, and nor do I try to play one on television, honey. But I know it is thoughts. Depression is is the thoughts you're having, and they're usually ruminating. You're overthinking about them, and you have them on autopilot. Autopilot. You have those same negating thoughts on autopilot, ruminating. And I say just see if you can untangle that, and see if you can bring in other thoughts that are neutralized, of course, and that are more grounded in reality. because you can always ask you can always ask the questions, are these thoughts mine? Why am I thinking these thoughts, and what is it about? And then sometimes that'll bring you out of it too. I mean, I know that works for me. Meditation is excellent for that as well. So, but always make sure you do what you need to do. And if you're under the doctor's care, listen to that. I talk in entertainment purposes only. And that's the only way that, I can be, you know, that I don't go around thinking I know this and that and the other. These are information. And like I said, billions of people are talking. So you know what resonates with you, and you know what seems reasonable and understandable to you. And that's how you need to, work with dealing with whatever you're dealing with. Make sure it makes sense to you. Okay, make sure it's logical, rational, and reasonable. Those parameters have to be there. Okay, that way it keeps you from being delusional and out on a wild goose chase in some fantasy world about reality. Okay, so I just want to share that for now, and I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here and handle my business. And I just want to send peace and love out all over the universe to everyone out there, and just love each other, be there for each other, support each other. Okay, and trust me, I'll be back.